Hey, how's it going, guys? Bikes and Brass back here with another Humvee video. We got the fresh unit right here. Also got a new camera. Hope it's a lot better for you guys. Today we're going to be going over the easiest way to put seats in your Humvee. I've already kind of done it, but I had to take them back out to just put in some washers and change a little bit of hardware around and stuff like that. So I wanted to show you how I did it, because literally, let me flip it. That's pretty cool. Literally anybody can do it this way. It's nothing that requires any skill in fabrication. You don't need to do any welding. It's pretty easy. You can do it. I promise you don't got to take it to a shop. So let's start with the passenger seats. So for the passenger seats, do another flip. I'm just mounting to these boxes here. I'm using these, remember to save these if they came with your Humvee, like the seat latches for the passenger seats. I ordered a 2-door, but I actually still had those on there, so make sure to save those. And then I bought these plates. As you can see, here's one right here, mounted to a seat. These are from Midwest Military Equipment. Just look in there, go to their website, look on their Humvee section, and look for these left rear and right rear seat mount plates. You can also find these on eBay, but these are what you want, and you want to also buy these Smittybilt Jeep seats. I'll get links in the description for all this stuff eventually. Might not have it if you catch this video right when I upload it, but you want to get these Smittybilt Jeep seats. I got all 4 of these for under $700. The good thing is they're really deceptively small. They look normal size right now because they're in a Humvee, and Humvees are really cramped inside, but they're pretty small. Here, let me show you what they look like with me in them. No. So yeah, I'm sitting in the passenger seat right now. It's not quite the best. Yeah, I'm a little bit too zoomed in maybe, but you can see these are not huge seats. I'm almost exactly 6 foot. I'm a skinny guy. I'm only about 155 pounds. So these are not giant seats. Flipping. But they work great in a Humvee. If you get like a lot of people recommend the minivan seats, other stuff like that, you're going to have to start doing goofy stuff like turning them a little bit inwards so they actually fit inside the door and the armrest isn't sticking out, and you won't be able to close your doors. So I didn't want to do goofy stuff like that. Don't like the way it looks, just don't think it's really the right way of doing it. But anyway, so yeah, get these Smittybilt Jeep seats and get these plates from Midwest Military Equipment. These are, the description said they're supposed to bolt right up to the seats that Midwest Military Equipment uses. Now, I figured that they were actually using these seats, because if you look on their videos and you look on their websites, it looks like they have these exact seats. Mine was very close. Well, let me rephrase that. These plates, both of them, did bolt directly up to these seats, but the issue was I could not get enough clearance when I went to mount the seat back in the Humvee. The back of the seat was touching this on both sides, and then it was too far forward for it to, the little ridge to go under that, because that's what it does. It's got a little, it's got this little piece right here, and that actually slots under this part in the box. So it was too far forward because the back of the seat was touching this, and it was too far forward for these latches to really catch this front part of the seat. Or the seat mount, excuse me. So the good news is these are made out of aluminum, very easy to modify and drill. What I ended up doing actually was I just notched this right here. That way I was able to scoot the entire mount back on the seat. The notch used to not be that big, it was maybe half that size. So I was able to scoot the notch back, and then I was able to easily still catch. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I did also notch these here. And that way I was able to scooch it back as well. So you can see I'm back about as far as I can go. I'm back pretty far on these, but I can't go any farther because the two forward ones are back as far as they can possibly go. And by doing that, I was able to just barely make these seats fit. They're still touching the back of the inner fender there, but they do actually fit. So I think that's all you're going to have to do if you get these seats and these mounts is just take a drill, notch this out a little bit. A drill press will make it a little bit easier, but you can do it with the normal drill if you need to. Notch that out, notch that hole out, and then you're going to use a bolt and a nut on the front here, and then on the back, I believe you can just thread it right into one of these seat mounts. Once you get it and kind of figure it all out in your head, you'll see which ones line up and what route you're going to have to go. But if you really want to know, I did the front, just these notches, bolt and nut through the notches, and then the back, harder to see. Bear with me, guys. I believe it was the inner bolts, or the inner screw holes. I wish I had a seat completely off to show you, but I don't. But yeah, you'll figure it out. That part's not hard. So that's what you do for the passenger seats, and then you can simply just set them on the box, latch them up. The latches are pretty dang tight, but that's okay because it holds in there really well. But you almost got to get your foot and step on them to get them to close. And then for this other side, the passenger front, you can take your stock battery tray cover and unbolt the stock seat from it, throw that in the trash, and just save the actual cover and the little metal piece that goes on top of it, and just simply set one of these seats with that mount on top of this where you would want it in the passenger front. As you can see, I got mine, you know, a little bit of room between here and here, and you know, in a little bit, not too far in. It's also kind of limited due to your metal part that goes on top of the plastic tray. It's a little bit hard to explain, but you'll know once you have it off. But yeah, go ahead and just set it on top of here. Get it on top of, try and get it where the 4 bolts are actually on top of the metal part. And then what I did, as you can actually see right here, this little mark, just trace the edges of your metal plate from MME on one of your passenger seats, okay? And then take that completed seat off with the metal plate on it. Take the other metal plate you have for the other side that's not yet mounted to a seat, or if it is mounted, go ahead and take it off. Set that metal plate upside down because it'll be like a mirror image, and that way it'll be able to sit flat. And that way you'll be able to line it up with your outlines and then mark the holes. And you might have to kind of jimmy it and adjust it a little bit to get so you are actually on the metal piece. The whole tray, like the entire thing as a whole, is actually a piece of plastic. It even sounds like metal. It's so weird. It might be fiberglass, but this is not metal. It's got a metal plate for structural rigidity on top, bolted to it. So you might have to jimmy it to make sure the seat is actually on top of the metal plate, and make sure you're drilling through that and not just the plastic, because you don't want to get in an accident and have your passenger just fly through the windshield, you know, with the seat still attached to him or her. But you can kind of size it up. You can get it pretty accurate, and that way you'll at least be able to line up the bolt holes, you know, where the bolt holes will go on this. Then you simply just drill it, and all you have to do is bolt this directly to the passenger seat and put it on. Hopefully you get it on your first try. Worst case, you know, you got to drill it out again, stick a huge washer in there if you've got a weird shaped hole, because if you had to drill it out a few times, you'll get it for sure. It won't be too bad. Okay guys, so something to note on this is the seat taken off, flipped upside down, as you can see. I was actually only able to catch 3 spots to put this into the Smittybilt seat, just because the metal plate on here is not big enough to get all 4. So I don't know, that's kind of janky. I was basically okay with it, but you know, you might want to build a bracket or something so you can get all 4 if you want to. But yeah, I was only able to actually get 3 of them. Just FY, without building a bracket, you probably won't be able to either. And then another thing, just for having it mount up well, I did the 2 back. I don't know if you can see this, but I did the 2 rear mounts right before this plastic piece starts to crease over. That way you don't have, I actually went maybe a little too far on that one, but that way you don't have 2 mounts that are at an angle and then 1 mount that's straight, and you get all cattywampus because of that. So yeah, and then okay, so the only thing left now is the driver's seat, so let's move on to that real quick. Okay, so here's my driver's seat. I think it's cut off my head, but what's really cool is this is actually adjustable, so I can make it go up and down, just all the way to the bottom, there's all the way to the top, and I can also make it go a little bit forward and backwards, about an inch. So that's cool in case you have shorter drivers or taller drivers or whatever. I like to keep it somewhere in the middle. So I'm gonna flip this around again. So the way I did that is I actually just mounted it to the stock Humvee seat mounts. I have an M1123 or an M1123. I don't know if all Humvees come with this kind of seat mount, so maybe research that before you buy one. But if not, no big deal. You can probably buy one on eBay. This stuff's all interchangeable from the M998 to the newest Humvees. It'll fit. But yeah, so the stock seat mount is height adjustable and about an inch forward and back. It's not crazy length. I'm probably actually going to take this off and re-drill it to move the seat backwards, just because this doesn't quite go all the way to the back, and you are sitting a little close to the dash if you're sort of on the taller side like me. Just because the Smittybilt seat mounts are a little bit too wide, unfortunately, for this slider mount, you do have to take 2 pieces of like, you know, whatever, 3/8 inch steel or whatever it is, and basically use those as mounting plates. So you take the 2 strips of steel, just get relatively thick. You don't want it to break if you get in a crash. But you take the 2 strips of steel, mark it to drill 2 holes to mount to the seat, and then do the same thing on the other side. And I would just go ahead and mount it up to the seat, set the seat on the plate, and then mark the steel to drill 2 holes. That way you can mount it, the other part of the steel to the plate. So that's really the easiest way to do it. It did get pretty close, trying to remember exactly what I did for that. On the part where it went in from the plate, in from the steel, that's mounted to the seat, the strip of steel is mounted to the seat to the plate here. Oh, actually you can see it. Sorry guys, this video is kind of impromptu, so at least the video quality is going to be decent. But so you can see that right there is actually a bolt. So the part where the plate mounted to the seat was pretty close, so I had to use a little Allen screw instead of a normal bolt head. Okay, or else it would be impossible to screw in because it would catch. Mounting the actual plate to the strip of steel, though, was a breeze. That wasn't hard at all. So I know this might sound a little bit complicated. Guys, but it's really not. Once you have this driver's seat out, you have your 2 mounts out, just flip it upside down. You can really hash it out. Just go to the hardware store. Everything you need will be there. You can knock it out in a night, no problem. If you want to help yourself out and do a little tack welding just to hold some of the nuts and stuff, you make it a little bit easier. But it's probably not a requirement. You can probably find a way around that. So the driver's seat is the only thing that really requires any custom fabrication, assuming you go with the Midwest military mounts for the passenger seats, and you use the stock battery tray for the front passenger seat. But the modification on the driver's seat is very, very easy. Anyone can do it. All you need is a drill and a way to cut the little steel strips, or whatever you want to call them, angle iron or whatever. Not really angle iron, but the little steel plates. So like a hacksaw or something like that. Should knock that out no problem. So hope this video is helpful. I didn't want to make an hour-long video of me drilling and mounting and screwing stuff in. There's really no point in that. But you guys let me know if you have any questions. Post them in the comment section. I'll try and help you out as much as possible. Good luck, guys. Hope you get your seats mounted, and hope this video makes it easy for you. Thanks. Bye.